Okay, so if I get 10 in a row correct, complete the next 2 lessons, and score 80% 3 times, I'll be done with studying Spanish today. Wait, how long have I been using this app, and why can't I speak Spanish yet? Welcome to the Rhythms of Focus podcast for wandering minds who are tired of feeling that they have to force themselves to make things happen. Maybe know that when things line up well, that tendency to wander actually becomes a powerful wave of focus. I'm Dr. Kourosh Dini, fellow wandering mind. It wasn't that long ago that I struggled to make things happen, whether it was to remember when to pay a bill, do things over time, or look at a list without feeling repulsed. Fast forward through years of study and practice, I can now not only deal with the world, I can be creative, playful, and engage in the ways that make sense to me. I can be a doctor, musician, father, still play games in the evenings. I've created this podcast to share these ideas so you can do the same, hopefully with a lot less of the troubles I needed to go through to get here. Whether you have ADHD, deal with anxiety, or just suffer from a powerfully creative spirit, I invite you to join me in this weekly podcast to start finding your own way to a calmer, more intuitive space. Please note, I'm not functioning as your doctor, psychiatrist, psychoanalyst, therapist, or otherwise. This is here for education, if not entertainment, and I do hope you enjoy it. If I can speak a single sentence in Spanish without my Cuban mother-in-law looking at me funny, I'll consider it a success. Other reasons for the funny looks notwithstanding. Meanwhile, I've been using this language app for years now, and I continue to struggle. Curiously, on various forums and subreddits, I've read similar concerns. Hey, this app is no good. I haven't learned the language yet. I don't believe, though, that the trouble is the app. Certainly, it's not the be-all, end-all of education. It is crafted quite well, presents things very nicely, and I speak and understand a heck of a lot better than I did before using it. So what's the trouble? The trouble's the measure. In studying and work, in whatever endeavor we engage in, we'd like to have a way to step forward. Complete this, do that, move from here to there. Whatever it is, some measurement comes into play. The trouble with measuring, though, is how it can disrupt and sometimes even destroy the very thing we are trying to measure. There's a lovely quote, also known as Goodhart's Law, which says, "When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure." I would even argue that most of what is meaningful cannot be measured. Whether that's about an idea, a diagnosis, a set of symptoms. But because completion, time, characteristics, these can be measured, they become our default. Whether in learning and communications, in our business transactions, we often function through measures. How much did this make? How much did you do? When will it be done? Measurements are not bad, but they are tools, and the more powerful the tool, the more caution it requires. When we're not cautious, when we don't recognize the potential negative effects, we do so at our own peril. In fact, it may even be abused. For example, what happens at work when we only check the boxes but do nothing else? We could argue, well, we're getting the work done. What's missing is the spirit, the sense of meaning, what builds from vision and life into a living result. Whether product, service, or simply being present in the culture, our existence at work becomes devoid of life. Consider checking out episode 2 of this podcast, in which George Costanza of Seinfeld displays this problem very nicely. Conversely, when our environments where we work, whether employers or coworkers, don't care for more than the checkbox, then doing more in terms of thoroughness and care might even be punished. Not only is the sense of self rejected, but the vitality is accused of being somehow, quote, extra, or an ass kiss, or something that may well make things more difficult for those nearby, even if it would be better, in the end, for all. The environment becomes hostile to joy and meaning, and even success is defined as a flowing union of play and work. When we wonder why we're not learning from an application, it might be more useful to consider, where can I bring life and play into this moment? rather than aim for the get through the next lesson goal. Maybe staring at a single sentence in a foreign language and consider, do I know what this means? Can I say it? Can I play with it? Where could I use it? Does it roll off the tongue? And if not, can I make it do so? What if I played with the words and the sentences until they flowed smoothly? Can I feel the sentence? Can I feel it to where I can say it without having to translate it in my mind? All of this takes time. All of this moves us away from the measure of completing the lesson. Mascot might get angry and still come after me. It becomes more clear how a measure can actively work against the thing it purports to support. But the milestone or measure is, again, not bad in and of itself. In fact, we can now use the milestone of completing a lesson as a framework, a context, a support within which we can find that life within the thing. It's not obvious, and it takes a deliberate focus to do so. It takes that oh-so-difficult pause. But when we pause, we can now consider and envision, lean into the challenge to bring our sense of play and care to bear fruit, to have the language take root, where a new channel for our voice can now form. We can further follow that play towards what one Reddit forum runner suggested, immerse yourself. Play often thrives in immersion. We can read magazines, follow the news, speak with others, and more. We can follow that playful sense into new realms beyond the app. Certainly milestones and completion are important. Measurements are important. But play is vitality. And without it, our measures petrify. Whether we complete or pursue and measure by milestone or not, it'll certainly have their consequences. Arguing for the spirit of play may even be the work of the brave. And the work of the brave often fails, as without the potential for failure, what bravery was there anyway? But without play and care filling the vessels of meaning, what have we got? And of course we can create our own measures. Maybe I like the idea of being able to measure having an easy conversation with my mother-in-law. That seems to be a better measure than any. Today's musical piece was originally titled Pretty Walk, but I mistyped it, and it became Petty Walk. I have no idea what a petty walk might be, but I liked the error, and I decided to keep it. Creativity, after all, is a discovery of what we're making in the act of making it. Errors are often only deviations from some original vision. Well, here's the piece. I hope you enjoy it.